You know, trying to get this light right. Not always the best thing, but we're here. Hi, I'm Annette. I'm your host here at Word on the Curve. I'd like to thank Christina and Frank Sasso for keeping me active in the podcast world. Thank you and welcome. Tonight, before we get started, I want to remind you to hydrate. Water is your best friend, no matter how much you have to empty as a result of it. It's your best friend. So I just want to remind you to eat fruit, moisturize your feet, hands, and face, and do what? That's right, mind your business. If it's not paying you, it's not your business. No matter how you feel about it. But tonight, I'm here after a very sleepless night, I might add. And before we get started, I'd like to offer my deepest condolences to anybody who has lost a family member. But in particular, I want to do a short tribute to a grade school friend. I'm talking about pigtails, bobby socks, buck shoes friend. Back to grade school. That's right. Karen Walker, class of 76, a band mom, a great mom, and a phenomenal wife. Passed away yesterday due to colon cancer. So I want to remind all of you, after a long and sleepless night, get checked. Men, check your prostate. Women, check your colon. And mammograms, mandatory. Make sure you get it done. Karen was a phenomenal woman and a very good friend. And I want you to see my shirt. It says, Make God Trend. That's right. That's a noun. For now. Do it now. Karen passed away yesterday peacefully and surrounded by her family. And so I just want to talk about that a little bit because tonight's podcast won't be long, but I cannot move into it without honoring one of my very best friends, Karen Walker. Oh, difficult. Last night, very, very difficult. I have the puffy eyes to show for it. It's not allergies tonight, it's because of heartbreak and tears. But I want to tell you a little bit about Karen. This is important. She fought a 10-year battle with prostate cancer. And every time after finishing treatment, Karen would stand up and shout out, I finished my last treatment. Now let's go kick cancer's you know what. And she did for 10 years. She was indeed a warrior. She fought. She fought back. And she was positive about it. In spite of her tribulation, she was always positive. It's going to be okay. I trust God. As long as Carla, Whitney, and Wayne are good, I'm good. And I'm good because they're here with me. And listen, it still makes me tear because of the love and the faith that her family shared with her through her journey with colon cancer. It was not easy by any stretch of the imagination. It wasn't. She had some hills to climb, there were some valleys. It was rough, but she hung in there and she trusted God. I want to thank Reverend Orcella Hughes from St. Luke's in Harlem for giving her the opportunity for intercessory prayer every morning, Monday through Friday. The opportunity to pray, to be heard, to be prayed over. Reverend Hughes, thank you. And for everybody who reached out and loved on Karen, Rochelle down there in Virginia Beach, everybody, Audrey Walker from Healing Stream, um, My mind is lapsing at this time because I'm grieving again. But I just want to tell you that Karen survived so long, number one, because of God and her faith in Him. And number two, because of the love of Wayne Walker, her husband, and her daughters, Carla and Whitney, and her baby boy, DJ. They were the joy of her life. And when somebody's loving you properly, it gives you strength, it gives you superpowers. And she had superpowers through it. This, her superpower was survival. I want to tell you that. Get close to people who love you when you're struggling, when you're going through changes. I don't care what it is. If you're ill and you're suffering, stay close to people who genuinely care about you. It makes all the difference in the world. Again, my name is Annette, a tribute to one of my best friends, Karen Walker. And take your rest, sis. 10 years, like a champ. You went in that ring, and no matter how tired you were, you kept fighting. Thank you for that because you inspired me and so many others through this battle with colon cancer. Hey, y'all, go get checked. If Karen was here, she would say, you better go get that test done. It's not as uncomfortable as dealing with what happens when you don't. So I'm glad that she was up on her care and she was proactive in her care. And be proactive in your care because, doctors are good, but nobody knows you better than you. Karen Walker, I love you. Wayne Walker, love you. Whitney, love you. Whitney Jenkins and Carla Langston, love you. You guys hang in there. I'm here for you. Your mother's circle of friends is here for you. And those of us who go way beyond high school, that all the way back to grade school, Bobby Socks and Bucks, we love you. Whew. Pray for her family, please. Tonight, our topic, and we're going to be quick, we're not going to be long. It's about when life is lifing. And of course, I don't have to tell you that life is lifing right now. It is indeed lifing. It is lifing for me and it's lifing for you. Life is lifing. And life on life's terms is not easy. And today, as in other days, I'm telling you, what doesn't apply, let it fly. But live while you're living. Karen did. She absolutely did. Live while you're living because life is rough. You ever had one of those weeks? Not a day, but a week where life just ain't happening. It's just nuts. It's life and bills are due. People are tripping. Plans are falling apart. Ever had a plan fall apart? Yeah, me too. And you're just out here trying to keep your edges intact. And that goes for men and women alike today, right? Trying to keep your edges intact. We see you. This episode of Word on the Curve is for the fighters, the survivors, and the ones who refuse to fold. I'm one of those fighters. And so are you. And so was Karen. We're talking real struggles. I'm not talking about that. Oh, we're not getting along. My friends aren't my friends. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about people talking about you. We're not talking about you struggling with somebody else's personality because that's a choice. We're talking about real struggles. When those bills don't always meet the budget, when that refrigerator is almost empty and you have mouths to feed. I don't know about you, but I've been there. I know what it's like. And I don't take anything for granted. Absolutely nothing for granted. And neither should you. Hold on for 1 second. We are in the middle of a lighting crisis. Again, we're in the woods. It happens, right? But here we are. We have it back. So when life is just life and then things are not going so well, like just now when the lighting went out, mhm, those things happen. It's normal, right? Real talk and real ways to push through. When life is throwing curveballs, I'm talking about the serious ones that almost knock you down. But every time it knocks you down, you get back up. That's life in. That's life on life's terms. So, take a seat, grab your water, tea, wine, sit back and kick with me for a little bit. And let's get into it. When life is life, here's some things I want you to remember. Pressure creates diamonds. It always has. Didn't start with you. That's all of us. Pressure creates diamonds, but they shape you and strengthen you and build resilience. You're being polished when you're in the struggle. And we don't always realize that. We don't always accept that. But when we're in the struggle, we're being polished, baby. We're diamonds. We're in the rough. You know, He's preparing us, even when it feels like you're breaking. That's right. You weren't built to break. My pastor picked that up after Whitney sang it. And he used to tell me that because I was in struggle. I was grieving real hard. And he would tell me, you're not built to break. Thank you, Pastor Spencer, for that. I appreciate it and I remember it. Survival mode is not forever. It's not. It doesn't last forever. Eventually we move on to the other part. Just because we're in a storm doesn't mean we'll live there. It's a time and place. It's a moment. You're the movement. Keep going because life is going to happen. Friends are going to leave. Spouses are going to leave. People die, and it's the hardest thing in the world for us to accept, right? But people are going to die, and it's hard. It's really hard. It wasn't supposed to be that way. But just because we're in the storm, don't live there. Don't sit there. Keep moving. We all struggle. We all have issues. Some of us wear them better than others. But every single one of us is going through changes. And that's why it's so important to be careful how you treat people. It really is. Because sometimes people do things that hurt us and we don't always understand it and we want to fight back. Leave them where they are. I've been there. Even recently, I've been there where I wanted to fight back. But seasons change, and so will your situation. I don't care what it is. One way or the other, it's going to change today, over and over again. I just kept asking God, whatever it is, God, if I'm not ready for it, just be there with me in it. Please stay with me. Don't leave me. I know how to ask for help. It took me a long time to learn that, but I know how to ask for help, you know. And venting is good, but healing is so much better. It's okay to vent, and you got to be careful who you vent to. So remember, vents seep into other rooms. And sometimes the things that we're venting about is not meant for everybody. It's not. Whew. Healing is better than venting. I shared with a family member just last night. If you're pouring from an empty cup, you need somebody to be replenishing that cup. And part of that is self care. Now, most of it is self care. All right, 85% of it is self care. Take care of yourself. The smallest things make the difference. I mean, the littlest things. I practice self care regularly. Some people say too much, and I'm out of control now that I'm retired. But listen, I prayed for this. I'm living for this. And I'm going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. I'm in a good place. There'll be anger, there'll be sadness, there'll be betrayal with friends, people you sat at tables with, people you shared space with. There'll be betrayal. And guess what? It's life on life's terms. Just don't be them. That's right. Just don't be them. There's no perfection in any of us, and some of us mess up sometimes, and sometimes we know why, and sometimes we don't. The only thing I can tell you is what worked for me. I had to go heal that inner child, baby, because that inner child was a little bit unruly when I was young. I had to deal with her. She had some things going on that she needed tending to. And men and women are like, I don't care who you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how many degrees you have or not. I don't care how successful you are. We all have inner children. And if you don't deal with them, they'll keep popping up and doing stuff. And you'll be asking yourself, now, where did that come from? Why did I do that? Why am I acting like that? You're acting like that because your inner child is acting up. And 9 times out of 10, you're ignoring her or him. Because I said it applies to men and women, right? Because sometimes, guys, no, doesn't matter. We need you to survive, right? But more than anything or anybody else, we need ourselves to survive. I need me to survive. I can't help you if I can't help myself, right? So life is going to life. It ain't easy. But that small circle, I said small, circle you should have, if they're not teaching you, helping you grow and go through some of those growing pains, that life on life's terms pain, when life is lifing, they're not giving you anything. That ain't your circle. That's a cage. You gotta know the difference between a circle and a cage. I had to learn. Yep, I had people right up under me I thought was my circle. They were in fact the cage. It happens. I had people that I disagreed with, I fell out with, I lost touch with. But some of those people I went back to get because I love them. I love them. And I know they love me. And I appreciate the friendship. And then some of those that let go and walked away, they belong on the other side of the fence. They are exactly where they're supposed to be. So stop worrying about people. The empty fridge hustle. Y'all know about that? You worked all month, right? But the bills ate your whole check. Now, you perfect people, non dysfunctional as you think you are, you've probably never been there. I have, where the bills just ate my whole check. Yep. And I felt defeated. And I felt that there was no way out. But you know what? You find a way. Yep. Doesn't always have to be peanut butter and jelly. Sometimes it'll be bread that goes in the oven with toast, cinnamon, sugar, and butter. For those of you who know about that, tap in later and add it to the comments. David Cox, I'm talking to you. Y'all know we've been there, we've done that, we felt defeated, but we always find a way, right? Whether it's through a friend, a food bank, or that I got you from someone who cares. And people who care, they recognize and know when you're struggling. How they respond to it tells you how they feel about you. Now, that doesn't mean everybody has to help you, but when people at least recognize, acknowledge that you're struggling and reach out and try to help you in that struggle, that's your tribe. The silent battles, the struggles, smiling on the outside, crying on the inside, falling apart, closed doors. Your answer is always, I'm good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whether you're good or not. It's the late night cries and the morning get ups that show you the real power. I said the morning get ups. You know that song, It'll Be All Over in the Morning? Sometimes it's not all over, but it's all over, and we have a chance to start over again. Our survival is not meant to be forever. Survival mode is not meant forever. So if you start doing the work and doing what you need to do to recognize that life's going to life and you're going to be okay, and it might not be what you want. It hasn't always been what I wanted. I didn't always land where I thought I should land. I didn't always get what I thought I was owed, that I'd worked for and prepared myself for, but it was still okay. Sometimes people are doing you a favor when they're closing the door. Remember that. They close the door, God opens a window. They close the door, God opens a whole floor. I'm telling you, it happens. And listen, I believe in God. Whoever you believe in is all right with me. I believe in the power greater than me. And I believe that if I just keep the faith and do the stuff I'm supposed to do, I didn't say be perfect. I said do the stuff I'm supposed to do because I fall short. Life on life's terms, right? But those silent battles, when you can get up in the morning and you can start again, that shows you your real power. And eventually you're getting up and you're not even realizing that it's a struggle anymore. The broken dream detour. Have you ever dreamed about something? I have, and wanted it and worked for it and prepared for it. And people, places, and things got in your way in an attempt to destroy you and bring you down, but they don't know that they built you and they helped you find your superpower. That's right. I'm not your superwoman, but I got a superpower, and it's called the will to survive. So take one day at a time. That's right, just one day. You don't need a whole bunch of days. You start talking about yesterday, today, and tomorrow, you're going to get jammed up. Just for the day, all day. Focus on what's right in front of you. Stop trying to conquer the whole world. Stop trying to help everybody, too. A family member said to me, she called me the rescuer, right? And I said, no, I'm not the rescuer. It's just the way I was raised. This is what my mom did. This is what I know, committed it. Yeah, I've been the rescuer. Now I'm rescuing me. The focus is on me. Doesn't mean I don't care about you. It just means that the focus is on me. This is my last chapter. That's right. I'm in retirement. I'm a senior citizen. Dang, it took me a minute to accept that. And rarely do I say it, but I am. I'm happy about that because senior citizen status taught me more than you'll ever learn if you don't get there. It gives you a peace when you don't care what people think about you and you don't care what they say about you because it doesn't matter anyway. What they think about you is about them, it ain't about you. Most people who thought they knew me, even lived around me and thought they knew me, didn't. They didn't take the time to do anything but assume. So be careful with assumptions. You know what happens with those, right? Drink your water. And here's what you got to do. You got to talk it out when life is lifing. You got to walk it out when life is lifing. You got to journal it and stay tuned. There's some good stuff coming your way. And I don't have to tell you everything. I'm just telling you there's some good stuff coming your way. Trust me when I tell you. Journal about it. Scream it into a pillow if you have to. Or walk until your playlist runs out. My playlist is so eclectic. I think that's the word. Eclectic. It's so different that it can keep me going like for an hour or more. It can. It can keep me going. It can keep me moving, you know. But don't bottle it up. Don't keep it inside. Don't try to be perfect. Don't try to present a face that's not yours. Don't do that. Accept me or reject me, but I am who I am. And at the end of the day, anything I say to your face or anybody else's face, I can say in a room that you're not in. I can say it in a room that you are in. What you see here is what you get, period. And so, release that stuff. Yeah, release that stuff and get your peace. It's not just about surviving, baby. It's not. The survival is not full time. It's about thriving through the mess. You know the mess that we all have that we pretend that we don't? Mm-mm. If you could be a fly on the wall in my small circle, baby, you write a book. I'm telling you. So life's been on your neck. This conversation was for you because it's been on mine too. And life on life's terms, no matter what you do, is going to happen. You can accept it, you can reject it, but it's going to happen. Hey, what doesn't apply, let it fly. Live your life. If you're sick, get up. If you're struggling with a chronic disease, get up. If people are leaving you in one way or another, just get up. Just get up. Imagine a Karen Walker who said to me, yeah, this is tough, but as long as my husband loves me and my kids love me and they support me, I don't care what I go through, I'm going to be all right. That's my message to you today from Karen. You're going to be all right. Hey, again, my name is Annette here at Word on the Curve podcast. Thank you for joining me this evening. Take care of yourself. You know, every little thing's going to be all right. If you don't believe me, sing that song every now and then. Put your playlist on and just jam to it. Have a good evening and thanks for joining.